present and passed unanimously. Present are Chairman John Prentice and Albert Afonso. What issues?
The only other pens I have are pink.
I'll try to make this blue.
You need pens? I have a closet full of pens right there.
Thank you. We're all set, thank you. So, we have somebody here, I think, who would like to speak to the board directly.
We just discussed it, and I think we're all set. We're all set.
Oh, was it on tape?
Nope.
Oh, I think we should put it on tape.
What do you need done?
I think that's appropriate,
Yep.
no?
Yep.
The what? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
He wants you to put your discussion on tape.
I had just come in because, we had two parcels of land under the same deed, but a road in between them, and we were being charged for two primary residences rather than one.
Okay,
And I came in to have the valuation put back where it was supposed to be, to take the second primary residence out,
okay,
which has been done in the assessor's office, of the field card, and I looked at it today, it's also been done on the, GIS assessor's map.
okay.
The valuation been reduced. The problem was, the tax collector has not reduced it yet.
Okay,
And I wanted to try and make sure it got to the tax collector, that's all.
okay. I don't know if you provided us with your name and your address, please?
I signed, Kurt Leslie, 57 Underwood Road.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So you've met with the tax collector, we assume?
And they couldn't tell me anything.
Okay.
They said eventually, but that's all.
Okay. After he presented his information to the board, where did the discussion lead to? Did it go to you? Did it go to Steve? Did it go to the town administrator? What are we missing? Us, anyway.
Well, there's a delay in when I do the computer work to the time it gets to the tax collector. I probably have to generate a new warrant. I have to figure out what that is first, to get that over. So that's the bottom line.
Okay. Are you satisfied with the answer you got so far?
When I see my next tax bill, I will be.
We hope.
And we had talked about perhaps a rebate, but the difference in valuation is like $30,000. So there's really not enough to go through to try and get a rebate. What's the tax rate right now? $11 a thousand,
Yeah,
roughly.
roughly.
So that'd be what? 330, 600, like $800 or $900.
Did you present that argument, or your, that?
No, I
your
haven't.
point of
We
view
haven't
with-
really discussed the rebate yet.
Previously?
No, I don't believe so. I mean, if it's a possibility, sure, but I just don't remember how many years it was improperly taxed. I think it was at least 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
But I'd have to, I'd have to
In my
check.
past experience on the board, years past, a similar situation to yours, I don't think anybody got a rebate.
Oh, okay.
No, it's,
Or a credit, maybe?
yeah,
No.
basically,
Oh, okay. Okay.
town needs the money.
We're fortunate this evening to have the town administrator with us. So, do you have anything you'd like to say about his situation?
It's not that we don't do rebates, because we can, but and I hate to pass the buck right back to her, it's the the treasurer collector that you would come and speak to.
It's, I'm
on
sorry,
that.
couldn't hear.
You would talk to Mary again.
Oh, okay, the tax collector.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's possible he could get a rebate?
Possible. Will it be worth the time that it takes to get there? Probably
You
not.
guys to discuss.
Yeah,
So
but
you can decide.
he can discuss it.
Right, him to decide as a taxpayer, and you to decide as administrator, great. We also have another public resident present, I don't know if his name was recorded, his name's
Yep.
been recorded?
Yep.
Thank you. Michael, I see you, Michael. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You're all set. You got a
Okay.
question?
Yes, please.
Oh.
Thank you. If it serves the chair here, Mike Stahl, 5 Lombard Road. And I was just looking at the agenda, and I didn't see any meeting minutes on it. Was wondering if meeting minutes would be addressed this evening, and for which dates those would be.
I did prepare them and I didn't print them, so we will address them at the next meeting.
Thank you.
I do
Appreciate
have-
it.
I do have one more thing, Mr. Chair.
You know, talking to you.
Oh.
Nate Boudreau, Town Administrator, I would like to come out and publicly state my pleasure with the new staff in the Assessor's Office. Steve and Leanne have caused a immediate impact in the amount they respond to residents and in the amount of concerns that get raised to the Treasurer Collector's Office and to my office. So it was a breath of fresh air, and I look forward to working with them in the future. There has already been positives, and we're only like 2 or 3 months in, so I think this is going to be a good fit and a good working relationship, and I look forward to the future. So thank you to both, and welcome to the team.
Yeah, they're doing a good
Thank you.
job, you know. And like I say, having somebody in the office 4 days a week and Leanne is a plus.
Yeah.
Because people can come in and, which is something that has been missing for a long time. And you've noticed that.
Yeah, and we're very happy to have that employee there as well. By combining the positions, I
Yeah.
think we did the community a great service. She's also been able to be of assistance in areas that were not necessarily what was described.
yeah.
So the position will grow as it does.
Yeah, no, good job.
Yeah, I walk around and meet a lot of people here in the town. I think anybody who's listening to this video or watching this video has any type of assessor's questions, especially on Wednesday when Steve is here, but Monday through Thursday when Leanne is here, and they'd like to call or come in person and address the questions. She's also responsible for other departments here within the town. Everybody who's had interaction with her, spoken to her, got assistance from her, always, always, always top shelf, very satisfied, very happy, very supportive of the job she's doing. Sorry, I don't get too much talk about you, Steve, I apologize.
It's all good.
Don't take it personally, that could be a good thing.
It's a good thing.
But yeah, they come in, they see her, they do interact with her, and she provides them with what appears to be quality service, for sure.
And Leanne and Steve have both really taken to, I told them straight out on their first day, like, hey, I don't care about getting people the answers, we get back to people.
Right.
And that's really it. You can get back to constituents, and they've been doing that for all I can see, and that's all I personally ask. We don't need to have an answer immediately, but we do get people answers and we keep them involved.
And that's what I personally hear outside of this building and outside of this little area in town. We have chapter applications, I guess, now, unless anyone would like to offer any other comments about our commendable staff. No right to signing.
Alrighty, so I haven't gotten to as many as I would like, but this is for Thomas Bratko. He has a total of 87.4 acres in chapter that he's asking us to keep in chapter. We're accepting his application in part just because he, did his math a little funky, and he had added up more land to be classified than land could be classified. He forgot to subtract
Housing parcels?
housing parcels, and so we just corrected that for him, and so here is the document to be signed. It's the bottom right corner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Al. This is, Dennis Rogers. He is being accepted in part also. He, also had not specified all of his land in use, so we are accepting what he specified this year on his application in use, as opposed to what was accepted last year. He's aware.
Okay, very good, thank you. Thank you.
this is a more complex one. It is for Matthew Ortolino, so Steve may or may not speak to this one. It is my belief that it has been improperly recorded in chapter for the past 40 years. He has had about 53.5 acres in chapter for the last 40 years. However, 47.9 acres is contiguous, non-productive land, and according to chapter law, only 50% of his land in chapter can be non-productive, and so, he would only be allowed 11 point however many acres, cause he has 5.68 acres in productive hay land. So I
He's getting the benefit of a tax reduction, but not having his entire land producing something.
So our recommendation to him was to put it in a forestry plan for next year, and then all of it could be back in chapter with that forestry land, but at this point, he doesn't have it in forestry land, so we can either deny him the land that is contiguous, non-productive, and doesn't amount to what we need, or we can grant it anyway, since we have been for 4 years
Subject to.
subject to
For 40
him
years.
for 40 years, subject to the condition that he gets a forestry plan.
I'll talk to him about that. I
You-
talked to him already about this, in another, I didn't realize there's that much acreage.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like, 5 acres of the hayfield or whatever, it was all one big plot. Well, and somebody had suggested that they were gonna let it go this year.
Mm-hmm.
The only other question I have is the barn.
Mm-hmm. That's, so it looks like on parcel 1-39, he's removed the house from the lot.
Yeah, the house has
accounted for.
been gone for quite a while.
Okay, so that's not accounted for in the acreage, the 53.58.
Yeah,
There is a bond that is being taxed, and it's taxed at the full rate
as a barn.
as a bond.
Now, how much, per square foot,
Oh, off the top of my head, I wouldn't know.
do they tax a barn?
They did have a tax, and I wanna say it was like $120,000 worth of value.
That's way too high.
I'm just saying,
I know what you're saying, but I know.
I'm trying to remember
It
the
used
card
to
off the
be,
top of my head.
I think at one time we taxed the barns at like $15 a square foot. So that might be something we wanna look into, cause it got raised, like he said, from the barn to like somebody was living in it or something.
Mhm.
Nobody lives in it,
Understood, yeah.
so. We can check that out.
Do you wanna postpone signing this application until we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you see what the other barns are being
Mhm.
taxed,
Yep.
for, you know,
Well,
with the-
we can tap into the state too, so we go into the gateway at the state, the Department of Revenue, which is where all
Yeah.
the towns dump into, and we can pull out all kinds of rates from that.
Oh, yeah, I just, you know, for my own curiosity.
It doesn't have to be Hubbardston Barnes, we can pull it from
Oh, yeah,
everywhere
right,
and
but
get a value.
whatever the,
Yeah.
you know, the average on it.
Yep. Yep.
I
Figure it
know,
out.
at one time, I think we used it like $15.
Pretty sure that's how it's calculated,
Yeah,
but I'll confirm it.
Yeah,
It's
sounds
good.
good.
Question? Are all the bonds supposed to be taxed at a flat rate? No.
No, I think it's per square foot.
No, but I mean the same square
Same
foot.
square right.
It should be the same fee, yes.
For everybody.
Yes,
Excuse me.
yes.
Okay. So it'd be comparable to a house.
Correct. There's a square foot assigned to it, and
At the bottom, yeah, there's
Right,
whatever,
right,
no,
whatever it might be.
30 by 50 and,
then
1500.
depreciated for age if you know the age.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, who's gonna be responsible for getting that information back to us? You or him?
The barn,
The barn rates or the barn sizes and,
I'll get it to her.
okay,
And I will
perfect.
get it to you.
You give it to us? Perfect.
And that's it for
I don't even
chapter
think I have your
lands.
phone numbers.
She can always reach us,
Yeah,
she's pretty
that's
good.
why I was gonna give it to her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, she's good, we're always kind of bopping around here.
I have a couple more chapter applications I'm still working with Marina at RRG to iron out because there are several discrepancies
Okay.
between the applications, vision, our chapter database, and so we want to make sure they're correct. So I should have those by the next meeting, and then we have several that we haven't received back, and probably early next week, I'll be sending out reminder letters to everybody who hasn't responded.
The adjustments you're focusing on, do you have any inkling at this time as to where the error or when the error occurred, whether it was the the homeowner, the landowner, whether it was on this side of the fence that caused the problem?
No,
Okay, good answer.
sorry.
I like that answer.
I wish it was a real
Hey,
answer.
I'm
that works in our
honest.
favor. It's like, let's take the time to review it and get it right.
Yeah, we're learning every day.
That's it, that's it.
Okay, next.
Thank you.
Bye,
Nice
Kurt.
seeing you, thank
Give me
you
a
for
Bye,
coming.
Kurt.
Yeah.
Give me a call.
Thank you for coming.
Good night, thank you.
Good night.
Alright, statutory exemptions. We just have a couple statutory exemptions to be signed. This is a first time VA exemption for, yes,
If it pleases the chair, Mr. Chair, Mike Stahl, 5 Lombard Road, could you just let me know if the 5 Lombard Road Stahl property is, I hand delivered it? I took a picture when I delivered it, not that you're gonna list everyone that you haven't reviewed yet, but since I'm here, it saves me a trip to ask or call. So do you know if you remember that application?
per chapter.
Yes, please.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I will check tomorrow and give you a call
I appreciate
or
it.
email.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. This is a first time veterans application. I checked it over, everything is all set, we have the letter from the VA, the DD 214, and
Where do we want to do something right here? Yeah, perfect.
this is the same, just a different individual.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is another. Thank you very much. That's all for statutory exemptions, I think. No, it's not. These are all 100% disabled vets that I have double checked that need to be signed also.
We have all the supporting documentation.
Yes, I double checked everything.
Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you.
very much. Thank you, and then I think I have one denial that I need you to sign also. This is a denial, he just wasn't living in Hubbardston at the time he needed to be living in Hubbardston to apply for it, but he will qualify next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along. Additional documents to be signed. This is a lien release for the Sahagan property.
The property was taken out of chapter or
It's going back in chapter and someone else's.
with the new owner?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then this one, I only need the signature from John. It is a certificate for 61A forest lands. The signature line is this very bottom line. Whoops. Knocked my chair right over. Thank you very much. That's that. We are done with things to sign. We have real estate abatements. I put it on there because I know you had questions, Al.
Yes.
So the floor is yours.
Are we up to date on those to start with?
Meaning what? I have 7 of them,
Okay,
and the calls have started.
okay.
I visited 10 Gardner Road today, so appointments are being started.
Generated?
Yep, so we have 7 in hand,
Okay, not too many.
not too bad.
So you'll be able to figure you'll be able to work them into your schedule, no problem?
Oh, yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's it. So nothing like, Mr. Ordolino has come up with that big discrepancy and all that problem with the size of the barn or anything like that?
Nothing like that
Everything else
at this
Everything else
point.
is running smoothly.
Everything so far, I'll see what I see when I go to the
Okay.
abatement inspections.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, great. It works for me.
Oh, have we had any luck getting, any contact with the, pot firm up at 68?
From my perspective, the last time you talked, it was, you were looking to measure it and maybe get a tour.
We've never walked the property, we've never measured the
The
building.
one that's
We
out
don't
in
know
the
if there's
back
a
with the
building
gate.
there,
Yeah, no,
nothing.
Never heard?
I know my building, I never asked for that. My building, my card that I reviewed has the measurements of the buildings.
The one on the left that's way out in the back?
Yep.
Really?
How did they get that?
Had to be there when it was prior. Cause
No,
he
it's
had 2
not.
buildings before.
No, it's not.
Oh, sounds like you're talking about the one across from the pizza house. On the right, you got the,
Going on 68 North, it's like a cream-colored
Yeah.
group of home,
Right.
right, 3 or 4 buildings, they look like they're all attached. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the one maybe 100 yards further up the road with nothing but a gate on 68 with a dirt road that's set back that goes to
with
the
another
back
gate.
parcel.
But we don't have an address on that. Do we know the house number or the,
He's got a mailbox.
yeah. I don't have that.
I know they,
I'm thinking of the other one.
It's Royal Sun Farm, I believe it's Low Gardner Road. I do ask that we limit communication with the business at this time due to some ongoing negotiations, but by all means, feel free. I can give Leanne the green light once we're done discussing the future of said business. I don't really want to go too much deeper than that, but
Cause we've never heard anything back from the people.
the owner of the business is not the best at responding to correspondence from the town.
None.
Some on purpose, some I believe by accident, but that, I don't really wanna go into it.
I think we gotta get one of those drones and go over, fly over the top, see
Yeah.
what's out there.
Well, you kinda do that with satellites.
Well,
Yeah, Google.
we made
Google,
changes to
exactly.
his tax rate because we were not getting, this department was making had made changes, not to his tax rate, but to the building.
The assessment.
Subsequent to not receiving any correspondence or any responses from him based on conversations with the previous RRG representative. When Rob was here, we encouraged Rob, and he went and made every attempt to either go there during the day when Rob was here working, and he sent them letters and correspondence, never got anything back from him, so we gave him the highest possible tax liability that we were allowed to do according to Mass General Law.
Yep.
And we haven't heard anything back from him even with that letter?
And those letters are, without going too far into detail,
I understand.
those letters are in good company. Like, several different departments of the town have attempted to reach out to Royal Sun Farm for various reasons, and they have gone
Yeah.
unresponded. Like, at this time, like, Mr. Schmidt knows how to reach us. Like,
It's a good idea, that Google map. Take a picture, get the lot number and
He
everything now.
hasn't complained about being taxed to the max valuation of the,
Is he up to date on on paying his liability,
Yeah, that's not our,
his property
I-
tax?
that's Mary, yeah.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
far as you know, is he up to date? Then?
the marijuana businesses within the town of Hubbardston are likely within their due process rights regarding tax payments. They are, however, in consideration by the select board to be in breach of contract for their host community agreements, and that's something we're working on. That has more to do with changing laws and different things that have happened since the approval of marijuana recreationally in the town of Hubbardston, and less to do with the actual businesses themselves, but we're working on it, so it's a mess.
So going forward, this board, if any action is taken by the town or any other subsequent boards, we're gonna be included in that notification.
Yes, sir.
And if there's any type of hearing, if we would like to send a representative, or we would like to be notified of that, we'd be able to attend.
By all means.
Thank you. Okay. Before I let this one topic rest in your capable hands, Mr. Administrator, how long you think before you're gonna get a response?
Between tomorrow and never.
It's like going to Jupiter.
Like-
It's like going to Jupiter.
That's not open-ended.
No,
So it's still kind of up in the air.
very much.
Thank you.
I like the idea of Google, seriously.
Yeah, I don't know how old that will be. The Googles, I don't know if they still do that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. So as long as it's a current flyover, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they get the satellites, you just get the lot number and everything.
Yeah, and with
Yeah.
technology, there are ways, if there's buildings or outbuildings, we
Correct.
can
Yeah.
measure them out, but
Correct.
Well, we'll
better
see
than
what's
nothing.
out there.
Better than nothing, yeah.
Yeah. So, you take care of that?
I will look into it. I need the address though. Did you have the address?
I can get it for you then.
Okay, any other real estate abatement questions, topics, comments, concerns?
Not for me.
Excellent.
It's up to the chairman.
Any old business?
I don't think we have any old business, do we,
No.
Mr. Chairman? Do we have any matters not anticipated? by anyone in attendance? Before we go, I wanna thank the town administrator for attending our meetings, for being here in person. It isn't every opportunity we get to see him at all during the week. He's always been very helpful and informative, so thank you for attending. Go ahead,
I'm
Mike.
sorry, Mr. Chair, Mike Stahl, 5 Lombard Road. I thought you were on matters not reasonably anticipated, number 5, as opposed to number 6. I was waiting on number 6. So if I have a comment, is this the appropriate time to make
Yes.
it?
Please do.
Okay. I know that the chair referred to Google Earth, and that might be a GIS layer that's incorporated into the Massachusetts Interactive Property Tax Map. That's what I use, and it seems to work pretty well. But don't the assessors have something called like Eagle View or something?
Correct.
And aren't all these related and basically the same thing, and one might be better than the other in some instances?
Potentially, yes.
Potentially?
Yes.
And what, if you could just say a little bit about Eagle View, because that's the one I'm least familiar with. That's an assessor-specific kind of one, isn't it?
They're paid services, it is a membership-driven software.
Okay.
Our office is part of that. I do not have a code at this point, I haven't used it, but we are part of that package. It's just flyovers, so different towns have concentrated on, other towns are not as heavily.
Mhm.
I don't know if Hubbardston's in that loop, but they are, it's flyovers more than satellite, so.
Okay. I'm assuming, please correct me,
Mhm.
that your computer in Hubbardston, the Hubbardston computer provided for you here
Mhm.
in the office, is tied into that service through your company.
No.
It's
Our
not.
G will have the service, not Hubbardston.
But you can't access the service from this computer
I have to
system.
find out if it's web-driven. I know it's just a login, so it's potentially just like a Google search type login to their site,
Because I was wondering if.
because I have not used it.
You have, okay, I understand that, and
Steve,
it's
69.
new technology.
Okay, thank you.
We gotta get up with it, that's cool. But is there any possibility that the clerk, Leanne, could access it through her desk, through her office? Should anybody have any questions?
With a login, potentially, yeah. I can ask my boss who pays for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not mine to give away.
Yeah, I understand that,
Yeah.
I understand that, but I'm thinking of
Yeah.
the availability of the information
sure.
being made available here
Yeah,
within the
there's
town.
3 or 4 different services that we have access to.
Okay.
Eagle View I have not used.
Well, you could recommend.
Correct. Any of them.
Any more, yeah, that you would
Correct.
think are.
Some
high
are public
quality
and some
and
are
whatnot.
paid, yeah.
I'm giving you some more work.
I wouldn't sit that close to her
I
right now.
appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good question.
Great
Well,
question,
thank you.
Mike, thank you very much. If there's no one else who has anything to say or any questions, I'm gonna call the meeting to adjournment. Thank you all for
Second.
attending. I guess 6:09.
All in favor? Yay.